Attorney Richard Coleman slammed his hand onto the podium and pointed angrily at the teenage girl sitting across the courtroom. "You expect this court to believe you?" he shouted. The courtroom fell silent. 17-year-old Naomi Brooks sat frozen in her chair, nervously gripping a pen while dozens of people watched her. She wore a simple black blazer and tried avoiding eye contact. But the attorney wouldn't stop. "You skipped school, ignored police questions, and now suddenly you're innocent." Coleman sneered loudly. Several people in the audience shook their heads. The judge watched quietly from the bench. Naomi tried speaking softly. "I already explained what happened." "No." Coleman interrupted aggressively. "You lied." The teenager looked humiliated. Even her public defender seemed overwhelmed. Because Richard Coleman wasn't just any attorney. He was famous for destroying witnesses in court, especially young defendants. He walked closer to Naomi's table. "You think crying will save you?" Naomi lowered her eyes. The courtroom became painfully quiet. Then Coleman laughed sarcastically. "Where's your family now?" That question changed everything. Because at that exact moment, the courtroom doors opened. Everyone turned. A tall woman in a dark federal uniform walked inside calmly. Silver badge, serious expression, commanding presence. The room instantly quieted. Even the judge sat straighter. The woman stepped forward slowly, then placed a leather badge wallet onto the table beside Naomi. U.S. Marshal Service. Gasps spread across the courtroom. Attorney Coleman froze completely. Naomi looked up immediately. "Mom." The woman calmly rested a hand on her daughter's shoulder, then turned toward the attorney. "Deputy Marshal Renee Brooks," she said firmly. "And I'd suggest you change your tone immediately." Complete silence. Coleman looked stunned. This doesn't concern you." Renee stared directly at him. "It concerns me when a grown man publicly humiliates a minor while hiding evidence from the court." The entire courtroom reacted instantly. The judge frowned sharply. "What evidence?" Renee calmly removed a folder from her briefcase. Inside were surveillance photos, phone records, and witness statements, all proving Naomi wasn't anywhere near the alleged crime scene. The prosecutor's face dropped immediately. Coleman looked nervous now. Renee continued calmly. "My daughter was questioned without legal representation present." The judge looked furious. "And according to these records," Renee added, "Attorney Coleman knowingly ignored exculpatory evidence submitted 3 days ago." Whispers exploded across the courtroom. Naomi stared at her mother in shock. Because until that moment, she didn't even know her mother had been secretly investigating the case herself. Coleman tried defending himself. "This is ridiculous." "No," Renee interrupted coldly. "What's ridiculous is watching a licensed attorney bully a teenage girl because he thought nobody powerful would stand beside her." The room went completely silent again. Then the judge slowly looked toward Coleman. "Is any of this true?" The attorney couldn't answer. Renee stepped closer. "You treated her like she was weak," she said quietly. "That was your first mistake." Naomi's eyes filled with tears as the courtroom watched everything fall apart around the attorney. Moments earlier, he believed he controlled the room. Now, everyone was staring at him like the criminal instead.